Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning wherever you are. Nice to see you all. Welcome to Selly Telly Christmas edition. Yes, it's weird in September now, isn't it? But rather than I think in the world they say Christmas in July when they sell Christmas fabric originally, but we have to still wait for fabric to come in. Right, I'm just pushing a button here because my thing reset. I was too busy yapping with Fizz, and then we're like, oh my word, we're on air. So I've got to do that, and then do that, and do that. Yes, just in case you don't know, Stuart here from the Wool Patch, my yarn shop in Long Melford, Suffolk, UK. And also in the chat, you'll be able to see producer Fizz there. You'll see her with the spanner next to her name. She in charge of all the chat, and already you can see many of you popping up saying hi. Because this show is a different type of show. I know many of you come and you watch the Wool Patch show every month, and then dotted in between on the fortnight we have this show called Selly Telly. It is really just chat and showing you the products that are in the shop. So it is really selling, and we keep the Wool Patch show a bit more of like a magazine show, don't we? Where we might have some topics, we have the gallery, we have fun and games, and I might show what's new at the shop, and we might have one product, but that's it. It's not a selling format. It's more about just showing the shop and its community. Whereas here, Selly Telly is about selling. So if you're new to it, in the YouTube chat, there's a registration form, and you have to register first in order to buy something tonight. Once you've registered, you don't have to do it again. So I know I'm seeing people here in the chat. I can see Sue. Hey, Sue. Let's pop that on the screen. There we go. Look down. Do you like Christmas? Next to Snowman and Rudolph. Evening from the UK. Hope you're all sat comfortable. I am indeed. Hope you are too. Sue has registered on the last Selly Telly. So Sue, you don't have to do it again. And if something comes up, then you can purchase it. And the reason why you register is so we can just link your YouTube username with an email address. So Fizz will have, for example, here we go, registration form for Selly Telly at the top of the YouTube chat. So say Fizz has registered, that means I've got her name linked with an email. So whatever she buys today, I can then send an email next week with the invoice. And what happens is this: as you watch, you might see something come up and go, oh, I like that. I want to buy that. All you then have to do is type in the chat what it is. So for example, here on the item name, you'll see what it is there. You'll see the info and then the number. Some have numbers, some have names. For example, this one is number 100. So if Fizz likes this, she sat down watching, she goes, oh my God, I love this. And once 100, she will then put in the example name, number, in the chat. So for example, 19 times 2. She wants whatever number 19 was, she wants 2 of them. It should always be very clear whether it's the graphic on the screen or whether I verbally said it. But there should be a name, brand or info, and then the price. And then you just write it in. Sometimes we'll say how many there are in stock and say there are 2. And Fizz writes down one of them and 2 more people say they want one of them, then it will literally be what comes up first in the comments on Fizz's computer, because Fizz is the producer, she's taken it all down. So you might think at one point, yes, I'm the second one, I've got it, but the wonders of technology and how it appears, whatever appears on Fizz's screen. We'll always try and announce it. So far, I don't think we've had an issue of 4 or 5 people going for one item. It may happen today, you never know. But that's basically it. So you'll see it underneath the screen there all the time, there, giving you the information. And if you want to buy it, you just pop it in the chat. Now, there is never any pressure to buy. It's just another opportunity for me to talk to my customers. So it is selling, yes, but please don't think, oh no one's bought anything. Don't worry. It's just, as I say, another chance. I am hoping that today it will sell because, I know we'll be very upfront, I ordered this fabric 9 months ago. Me and Fizz were sitting down choosing it because I needed a bit of help to choose the Christmas fabric. You choose it that far in advance. We literally had Christmas and the catalogues came out. And I remember clearly, Fizz, what should we go for? And we saw this one and we chose the colours. So we chose the fabric before we'd made the decision, or I'd made the decision to stop selling fabric. So ideally, I want it to go, which is why it's going to be at reduced prices. But so yes, it is selling to you, but please don't ever feel pressured. If nothing's going, then I'll take it into my shop and I'll do a sale in the shop and we'll move it on that way. But it's a very relaxed show. I'm chatting to you. There's no features. There's no amazing sort of different things or quizzes or games or anything. It's just me and you. You can chat away as we do it. You can talk about your projects. You can talk about your fabric. It may be all our usual folk in who are fabric sewers, patchworkers, as well as knitters and crafters and crocheters. So we can really chat away. So please don't think you've just got to talk about fabric or not at all. You can talk about anything you like because it's just a nice way of showing the products in my shop as well as chatting with you. You know what it's like when you go into a shop. You like having a nice chin wag with the shop owner anyway. So let's go for a quick look in the chat and see who's here. Hello, Miss Beady. Good to see you. Lovely. Thank you for joining in. Margaret, good to see you. Jan. Hey, Jan. Okay, how are you? Oh, yes. Hello, Stuart. Looking forward to seeing the advent calendar. It's a nice one, especially the fold-up one. Yeah, it's done so quickly. Good to see you, even though we saw I saw you last night anyway. Oh, Valerie, good to see you. You said you might not get a chance. Nice to see you. Has your parcel arrived yet from me? I think you said it was due for Tuesday. Valerie bought on the Wool Patch show something, and I've sent her a really big parcel with some nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It's going to get you excited now to open it. Dog there, good to see you. Yes, Merry Christmas to you too. And Dandy, great. Yes, something fun. Bless you. Curly Sue, loving these. Yes, gets us into the mood, doesn't it? But keep your chat going. Hand pink. I think the YouTube's got a bit wrong there. We'll see how it goes. And I'll show you the Christmas things. I reckon it might only be an hour, maybe an hour and a bit. But sit back, relax, and we'll have an informal conversation as it goes. And I'll show you the Christmas fabric. So, are you ready? Let's take a look. So this is it. So we chose Ombre Flurries Mettalic from V&Co, or by V&Co from Moda. So it is a Moda cotton fabric. There is nothing wrong with this fabric. Okay, it is brand spanking new fabric. If I still was selling fabric in this shop, it would still be at recommended retail price. And as I told you before, Moda fabrics have gone up for us here in the UK because since COVID and shipping. So this is recommended to be sold at £16.80, £17 at the lower end of the markup. Now, little independent shops like me will mark things up by what we call 2.4. You times the wholesale price by 2.4, and that gives you the top end of the markup price of what it should be. So this would be in my shop probably about £17.50 to £18 a metre. And I couldn't really sell it for any less than that. And yes, you'll see it online probably for £16.80 because they don't necessarily have the overheads, or they might buy in bulk. And this is the annoying thing about business. So therefore, the company will give them a discount because they might have bought 1,000 yards of each colour, or 1,000 metres. That's the way business works, sadly. Those big guns that can buy more then get a discount from the wholesaler as a result. And sometimes they pass that discount on, which is why I never compete with internet companies, because it's just not possible. If I did, as you probably know, the local independents like me, you wouldn't make enough money to cover the bills of the shop, let alone then have a wage. So if you were in my shop, you'd be seeing Moda fabrics around £17.50 or £18. But, and this is say complete honesty here, because I've stopped selling fabric, I obviously don't want this to hang around. So I'm just going to do this to get my money back on the fabric. Maybe a little bit to cover the tax that I've paid as well. But it is literally just to move it on. So you, YouTube watcher, you could get an amazing bargain tonight. Absolutely. So think about that, because as I say, you won't see it at this price anywhere else. And as I say, there is nothing wrong with the fabric. It's not a second or anything. It is current as current can be. As I say, we ordered it in January from the mill, so I couldn't cancel the order because once you've placed your commitment, you have to have it. So this is what we've got in front of you here. 10 colours that we had great fun choosing. Now, you're already probably looking at that image going, oh, what's this, 7 metres, 6 metres 80? Well, the wonders of Moda fabrics when they get shipped in, you sometimes don't know what's going to come in on the bolt. Tell me about it. Sometimes you get more, sometimes you get less. And I've told them a couple of times, like, how can you keep sending me more? Because sometimes you'll get 9 metres on a bolt or 10 metres on a bolt. It's like, I've committed to budget for 7 metres because that's how you sold it to me as. And it's coming in on 10 metres or then coming in, like you see there, 6.8. So 3 metres came in, 3 bolts came in with 7 metres, and then 7 bolts came with 6 metres 80. How did they work that one out in the cutting room? So there are the 10 colours. And that's what we've got to sell you. Now, if that was in my shop, normally I would cut some yardage off to make some bundles with, which we have. And then obviously there's some meterage left if you want to buy meterage. But I've got a feeling the bundles are going to go first. Before we go further, I just want to whet your appetite with who V&Co is. Take a look at this. If you... a blank screen. Oh, there we go. Let us know in the comments if you have used Moda fabrics, or even more so if you've used V&Co. I think this V&Co is Vanessa. I think she came around with Moda about 2 or 3 years ago. I remember Ting falling in love with Ombre Confetti. If you've used that, let us know in the chat. And let us know if you've used it. It's very much their thing, V&Co. Excuse me. It is always... yeah, it is fizz. Yeah. It is always an ombre. And what I mean by ombre, and if we go to that one there, the fold of the bolt... is in half, is the top, is the lightest part. And if I go to our one here, look at all those. Aren't they lovely? I'll take that out for the moment. You've got a sneak peek of what's coming up. there. And then what I shall do, and so I'm just going to twist this around, and hopefully you can see camera effects. Has that done that? No. Let's zoom out a bit. Ah, there you go. Oh, there. So if you think about the bolt, which is 44 inches, when you see the bolt, it will have the fold at the top, and the fold is where it's at its lightest. And then the bottom, where the look at that, where the selvage is the darkest. And it's basically going to go up and over. So it's going to go up and then back round again. Let me get you a bolt and you can see it even better. I'm just going to stand up and I'm going to go over to get it out. Hang on. Right, back again. There, so that's the bolt as it would be in the shop. And if I open it up, and it's still probably a bit too close, but I might just try and change the camera. There you see, look. So the bottom of the bolt, where the selvage is beautifully dark. It's called metallic, so the snowflakes are gold metallic on all of them. Fades up, top of the bolt, up and over to the bottom again. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. So that's how the ombre works. And let's go back to V&Co here to get you excited. You can go to her website and then you can go to a shop and you can see all the patterns that she's done with it. And this might make you think, this is going to be my Christmas make. Look at this. So Ombre Christmas Village. So you can buy the pattern. Let's click on it. Are we allowed to? It might not work on my... Oh, there we go. Look at that. Because I know many people think, all right, it's a lovely fabric, but what am I going to make with it? Well, hopefully this, you might see that and go, love it. Going to make that one. Or it might be Christmas tree, ombre tree time PDF quilt pattern. Have a look at that. So you might, Miss Beanie, you're quick off the mark. Hang on there. Hang on there. We'll talk about that in a minute. I might have eyes purple crying. I think YouTube's playing up here, isn't it? No idea what's going on there. I think that's an emoji, isn't it? Hang on there, and we'll see what comes up. Someone's itching and ready. I love it. Oh yeah, because it doesn't show on my system. So, hopefully if you're like, I love that fabric, but I don't know what to make, maybe this might inspire you. And she's got loads of them because it might depend on the colours. But look at that, this one, Ombre Snowflake Flurries. Now, wasn't there a big snowflake one last year that was really popular, Fizz? Can you remember that one? The one that had the snowflake like in the bottom right-hand corner. Ting did it as well. Can you remember that one? Look at that. Yeah, there was a really famous quilt pattern last year or the year before where there was a big snowflake done with half square triangles, but it was sort of only in the bottom right hand corner of it, and that was a fabulous one to do. And he did it with ombre confetti. So you can see how the ombre, I think it was it just called the snowflake pattern? Yes, that's it. Yeah, can I don't know whether I can find that on here because I can't Google it. No, I can't. I don't think I can. If Fizz finds it, she'll put it in the chat because it is a fabulous one to do. But she's got patterns here from over the years. So they may not be Christmassy patterns, but I'm sure Moda have got loads of patterns anyway when you go to the United Notions website. Yeah, they are absolutely beautiful. And it depends on what you want. There was one I did, and I can't even remember who it was. It was a simple Christmas tree with half square triangles where you snowball each corner. So you have a little colour, snowball, to get that like house effect. Then you do, and let's come back to me, that would help, wouldn't it? And then you do another strip a bit longer, snowball, and then an even longer strip, snowball, and an even, so it's like kind of like a pyramid. Great Christmas tree pattern. I remember us doing that as a class one time. So there are loads of patterns there from V&Co who has designed it, because I know many people go, oh, I don't know how to work with ombre. But the beauty of the ombre is you've got so many different colours, especially if you're doing half square triangles, because you've got your darks, mediums, and then your lights. So you don't need as many colours because you've almost got 3 colours in one of half square triangles there. So let's pop that back, and let's pop that back. So here we go. You ready? So the first one that we are doing is a bonanza. All right. So you've seen what's available. You've seen what's coming up. Now, as I say, Moda sent me the 3 bolts with 7 meters on, and then the 7 bolts with 6.8. It's like, well, how am I going to sort that out? To make it easy, chatting with Fizz and Ting as well, he put his maths hat on, and we thought, what can we do to make it even more enticing for you? So to start us off, what we did is we cut off the 0.80 centimeters, of magenta, red, burgundy, peacock, turquoise, Christmas green, and lime. We cut off the 0.80 centimeters, and guess what's coming? We cut off the meter of the 7 of white, aubergine, and teal to get everything to a level peg, to 6 meters left on the bolt. And those meters and 0.8s we put together to give a bonanza bundle. There is one bonanza bundle only. Okay. Now, this is always going to be there. So if it goes now, it's gone. Great. But it might be, you might get to the end of the day and the bonanza bundle is still there. And you might go, all right, in an hour's time, actually, I'm going to have the bonanza bundle. Okay. So what we've done is we've packaged it all up. You've got all those 0.80 centimetres, so that's just over half a metre, virtually a metre, isn't it? And you've got 3 metres, but to make it even more of a special deal for you YouTubers, I've chucked in a metre of the white for free. So you're getting that one for free. It should be £103.20, but I'm giving you the white one for free because I want it to go. So it's £91.20. Okay. And as I say, I'm keeping that transparency there. So you know it should be 17 or £18 a metre. I'm selling you to tonight for £12 a metre. So that's how you can work out the sums. So we've charged it at 7.8s and then 3 12s. £103.20, but you can have Bonanza, one of them, for £91.20, and that will stay throughout the show. Okay, so it might go now or it might go later on. But if there's someone there that wants to do this project with ombre, then you might like that, mightn't you? So that's the Bonanza bundle. And as Fizz says there, B1. Okay, so let's just do that to make that even clear. I can change this on the B1. There you go. Look at that. Bonanza. And as I say, that can sit there for the show, because some of you might be going, oh, do I want it? Do I not? All right, no, because, oh, no, I'll just see. And then if you end up buying like green, red and lime, you might then be going, oh, do you know what? I might as well have the Bonanza bundle. Oh, well, it's already gone. Bertie and Poppet. Hey, Jill, good evening. Lovely seeing you. Well, there you go. Done. So all those 0.8 centimetres have now got a home because they would have just got chopped off. So what better way of treating someone to a bargain? There you go. Right, so let's move on. That's Bonanza bundle done. Let's move that and let's take that off. So for the rest of you, the main bundle FB1 is a simple fat quarter bundle of the 10 colours. And shall we see the 10 colours? Look at that. To make it even easier, we've done it in 5 and 5. It's good planning there. How good does that look? Where should we put the line? There. And let's just fold the green back up. It was a glorious day here in the UK. Spent most of it out in the garden, doing all the gardeny things, you know, like cutting your hedge and cutting the lawn. But boy, was it humid. Was it humid where you were if you were in the UK? Now, this is a sore point because Valerie, Visit Nana and Papa, I got a bit of your video and you were talking about the heat in Texas. Sorry. Because you're looking forward to Christmas, aren't you, when it gets cooler, so you can do things outside your house, because I know you got it hot there, haven't you? So I shouldn't really be talking about humid, because it's probably even more humid where you are. There. So that's the 10 fat quarter bundle. You can work this out, obviously. If it's £12 a metre, fat quarter is 3, 6, 9, 12. It's £3. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then you've got times 2 to 30 quid. I don't want to be, presume, shouldn't ever presume. I will just explain what a fat quarter is. Apologies if you know, but there could be some people that don't know. Let's go with the purple one. Okay. So a fat, I needed my cool pen here, didn't I? So I could have written on the screen. So a fat quarter is half a metre's length, 50 centimetres. So half a metre. But rather than having a traditional quarter, which would be that, 25 centimetres, which would go up and over. If I cut that off the bolt, you'd get the dark going to the light, back over, light going back down to the dark. But for us quilters, what we call here a quarter of a metre or a skinny quarter is really no good to us. If you're a small scrappy crafter, absolutely probably love it. You probably love skinny quarters. But for us quilters, it's not good enough. We need a bit more fabric than that. So we invented a fat quarter, which is where you can see it. It's 1/2 meter, but we've cut across the top so it doesn't go up and over. So you have literally just got the top fabric. You're not going to get the second layer. So you are going to have 50 centimeters, but you've got the fatter quarter of that, and only one, because obviously there'll be 4 in a meter. Okay, so that's what you've got is your fat quarter. So you've only got one dark going to light. But the beauty of fat quarters is that you can buy more colours for your money and you can do more pretty things with it rather than buying 1/2 meter of all colours. So we're hoping that the fat quarter bundles will be more affordable for you and you crafters and quilters can do more things with it. Okay. So if you want 10 fat quarters of V&Co, you're getting it at our special price at £12 a metre. But because they're fat quarters, you're going to get them for £3 each. That makes £30. You can work the maths out for what it would have been if it was proper retail price. Fizz, get your calculator out and pop it in the chat. If it was £17 a metre, what's 17 divided by 4? That's a really awkward one, isn't it? 17 divided by 4. Oh, Curly Sue, you're good with figures. She's what she does for a living. What would £4.50, yeah, times 10, £45.50. Is that right? You're saving 15 quid. Oh, 42.50. Oh, wow. 42.50. So you are saving £30, £10, £12.50 saving. Marvellous. So there you go. So that's FB1. So if you want FB1, type it in. And you can type in as much as you like for the fat quarters, if they take your fancy. We have got some smaller bundles coming up. So if you're like, not too sure, then you can hang on for the smaller bundles. And again, if you just love, because I know some of you have already said to me earlier, I'm loving the red, I'm waiting for the red. You might just be waiting for red and green meterage. Well, that's okay, because if the fat quarters don't sell, and this is where Fizz is ready with her maths, if the fat quarters don't sell, then the meterage is left, so there's more meterage. Because some people might want to do something with that on the back or something. Okay? I think I just heard Fizz fall off her chair. Is that the thought of all the maths we're going to have to be doing? Sue, right, 30% discount. I should have put that on here, shouldn't I? Is that what that is? Let's add that in now. Should we do that? I think I can do that on the Oh, let's do that. 30%. That's a great saving. There we go. Look, I've added that in there. Oh, no, that's a bit too big, that box. There we go. Put that next to my face. So 30% discount. You see, it's good, isn't it? But as I said to you, I want to move it on. Okay, so you're getting a bargain. I'm moving it on. I get my money back, and then that's everyone's a winner, aren't they? And it's wonderful, beautiful fabric. And then you can go to your friend and go, "Oh, I see you've got Ombre Flurries. How much did you pay for that?" Did you? Oh, I got it for 30% off because I'm a supporter of the wool patch and I get all the deals. Oh, wonderful. So that's the 10. Christmas white. Oh, I should have remembered the colours. We'll go back to this one. Yeah. Oh no, there's me pointing and it's on the screen. Christmas red, off-white. Yeah. Burgundy. And lime. Is there any fabric you want to see close up of? Do you want me to open them all up? Do you just want to go, oh, yes? Because I have to say, the purple looks stunning. What I called it purple. What do we call that one, Fizz? Aubergine. This one here looks incredible. Aubergine. It's proper purple. And this is doing well in my lighting box. This is actually how the colours look. But I know we've all got different monitors on what we're watching on, so it looks good to me, but it may not look good on your monitor. Let me show you aubergine. Because the gold metallic shows beautifully on this one. And I'm just going to move my camera. Oh, look at that. So that's the darkest part. Look at that gold metallic. And if I hold it up, look. Beautiful. Each colour has the gold metallic, and it also has the dark, very dark of whatever colour it is, these delicate little stars on. Just to give it a bit of depth between that and the metallic. And then it goes up to the ombre, and then as you would know, if you're buying meterage, it will go back down again and it will be dark. But that's the aubergine. It's beautiful. So it's hard with one hand. So there's FB1. If you want 10 fat quarters of the whole collection, you just put FB1 in the chat. So I can see already, Jan, yes, you've got an FB1. Miss BD, yes, you've got an FB1. Sounds like a really smart car, doesn't it? Yeah, it is. I always have been a big fan of Moda. It is high quality patchwork cotton. And in your craft, we all know this, and this is not being snob at all. We know companies which are the higher end of quality because of the price, and we know the other companies which, yes, they are more affordable, but the content changes and then the quality does as so. And we have that in patchwork. You can go and buy cotton, may not be full 100% cotton, and you'll see it advertised for £5 a metre or £6 a metre. But it probably could be polycotton. And then the thread count of that is really, really thin. But Moda is one of the top ends of patchwork quilting cotton, and that's what it is. Patchwork quilting cotton. Actually, it's great for dressmaking. Anyone used Moda over the years for dressmaking? Practical Stitches, let us know. Sue, did you do anything with grunge, or am I thinking of someone different? Oh no, Caroline, who used to be in my shop, she made a couple of shift dresses from grunge, and that looked wonderful. So you can use it for dressmaking. Say again, Fizz? Absolutely. Jubilee Bunting's dress was made from grunge too. It is wonderful fabric to use. So it is great quality. And as you know, as soon as you put metallic in anything, it puts the price up. Because motor fabric would normally retail for around £16 anyway. But as soon as you put metallic in, it's then more money. Hence the price of it being perhaps £17 or £18. So that's the 10. Now, if you don't want the 10 and you're like, I'm liking the reds and the pinks, well, we've made it even easier for you because you guessed it. Oh, no, not that one. This one. Oh, no, we'll do, sorry, we'll do blues and greens. That makes sense, doesn't it? We don't want to skip. Right, thanks, Fizz. She's got the schedule. She's got the schedule there. We've split them into 5s. So you can go for your rich colours, your reds, or you can go for the cooler colours, which are your greens and your blues. So let's show those again. This is all fun, isn't it? A lot slower pace here. There's your 5. 1, 2. Look at that. Oh, Christmas green. Lime. Yes, there's silver on the blues. Good question. Who did that? Sue. Yes, good point. It's silver metallic. Let's open. What's this one? You should know these colours by now. Teal. I'm going to show you teal. Which I have to say is a bit off-putting. They call it teal. I wouldn't say it's teal. It's almost mint. And it is actually showing a bit greener on my screen, but I would probably call it mint. Teal I would typically think is more bluey green, but yes, it's silver on the cool ones. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, it does. It looks a darker green on the screen, but it's definitely lighter and more green than teal. So you get your teal in your kit for your 5 fat quarters. Yeah, we can go through each one for yardage as well, because I'll just shove the bolts in. I think that one's my favourite. That one is the peacock. You chose that one, didn't you, Fizz? Look at that. That would just be a beautiful one if you were doing like a night scene, a dark night sky one. Who knows Zen Chic? I wish I could show my screen. Google Zen Chic. She did several collaborations with Moda, and I came across her when I just started my shop. I had several of her collections in, and they always flew out the window. She's got a fabulous vlog. But Zen Chic, that's her Moda name. Her actual real name is Bridget Heitland. I think that's how you say it, but Bridget anyway. so modern, so cool. And I've got some of her patterns. She plays around with negative space. And so one of my favorite ones, lots of half square triangles with bold colors, but then they kind of, as they go across your quilt, it turns into fewer bold colors but more negative space with just white. And then she might put a pop of orange in. So just imagine having all these navies and blues really saturated in the top left-hand corner, and then half square triangles, of all the different blues put together. So intense, and then fading through with more whites coming through, and then fewer blues, and then an odd pop of an orange, or an odd pop of a lime. It's phenomenal. So another pattern if you want to. So that's colour number 2 in your blues and greens. This is the turquoise, which is just beautiful. Or turquoise. How do you say turquoise, people? Are you an oi or an R? Put it in the chat. Turquoise or turquoise? Beautiful one there. Lime. So we've got two for oi. Turquoise. Yeah. Oh, that's funny, isn't it? And then your classic Christmas green. Which, yes, is gold metallic. It's got to be, hasn't it? It wouldn't look right. Now, this is a fat quarter, and you can't really see my hand through that. That's how good the quality is of fabric. Look at that. That shows up so well on that's only my phone in there. There's better technology on the phone than there is on my actual DSLR that's pointing at my face. There we go. So that's FB2, people. We're oi, oi. I'm loving this. So yes, oi, oi, and another for oi, and another for eyes. Oi's turquoise. Susan, you're a turquoise all the way. Brilliant. I watched John Scott on his on Sewing Street. That's another form of Selly Telly, and he's wonderful. But he's always a turquoise. So there we go. FB2, people. If you want the blues, £15. They're £3 each. Whereas rightly so, 30% off. They would be £4.25. Or four, yes, yeah. Look at that. Oh, I feel like a magician. There you go. Right, they've not gone on the floor, they've gone on the table. So you know what's coming up next, don't you? If I push my button. There's a song about that, isn't there? Push my button. FB3, let's look at them and coo over them, because I know many of you are sitting there chilling out on a Sunday going, ooh, Aubergine. Let's get that on the emoji, shall we? And then burgundy, which is a very popular colour in the shop for yarn. Let us know if you're a burgundy fan. It's actually showing up a bit more red. It's not as rich. That almost looks like a maroon on my screen. It is a bit more muted. Yeah, and a bit more purple. So more burgundy. But yes, a beautiful colour, burgundy maroon. They're all selling really well. I don't know whether that's the in colour. What's the current colour for Pantone? It's purple. Is it still purple? Fizz is googling it now. Or is it magenta? Well, it's it's magenta. So similar family. Then we have, I've forgotten the colour already. Oh, it is magenta. Colour of the year. Look at that. Beautiful. Do you think, now, could you get away with this throughout the year? Could this be like stars, or does that look like snowflakes? Just wondering if it could be It could be, yes. Yeah, Fizz says it could be a great Alaska rainbow. We did it a couple of years ago. I'm sure Fizz will find a link for it. Who did that? Was that Laundry Basket Quilts? Another one for... we did it for Solid. So we did it using Macawa Fabrics, which is a British company, with linen texture. So solid. But you could do that... Margaret says snowflakes to me. You think, yeah? You don't think you could get away with it like being like stars, and then like a quilt present for someone who's just done something amazing? I suppose these ones could be. They probably have done a star one, to be fair, anyway. So we're still on FB3. 2 left to show for FB3. Your classic Christmas red. There. Yeah, and we said, I've said this before anyway, just because we've stopped selling fabric doesn't mean we're not going to be talking about fabric, because I still sew. Many of you still sew. I know many of you in the chat here, Practical Stitches. We were sewing last night, weren't we? So we were doing a masterclass pilot with Carol. Boy, that was good. She's trialing this new idea for future content for her, and also for income too. And so she tried the pilot, so it was all free, the pilot. And I think she's going to be doing another pilot to practice the technology. So if you just follow Carol or follow us still, I'll keep you up to date. So we're still sewing. That was great fun, putting in a sleeve last night. And of course we do the sewing bee. Oh, look at that. As we talk about it, Everbee appears. Hello, that would make a great Christmas dress. Exactly. It's perfect for dressmaking. So we are still, and I'm still sewing. I've got my sewing machine right here. So I'm still going to be sewing. Fizz is sewing. What are you currently sewing at the moment, Fizz? She's gone. She's gone. She's typing. She's gone to the... Oh, no. Here she comes. What one are you sewing, Fizz? Oh. The weekend quilt. Can we Google that, can we? It's her own design. You see, How cool is that? You see, so we're all going to be sewing. So we are still talking about sewing and we're still talking about fabric. And as I have said, you never know. Because of my contacts, we might still have fabric on the odd Selly Telly. So Jill, keep your eye out. Bertie and Poppet. Let me go and get something. Hang on there. Yeah, this is unrehearsed, so just hang on. Yeah, just getting something out of the cupboard. I've just got to plug myself in. I did say that this was more informal compared to our normal show. Just left alive with no nothing going on. See, I've still got contacts in the fabric world. And look what I've got for a future. Should have done. Ow! Oh, that was a pin. Ow! Where was that bugger? It's actually very topical. And look at this. Oh, there's another pin. Ow! I'm taking those pins out. Look at this. Are you excited? Oh, I've got an itchy nose. What does that mean? Right. For quilt lovers, this is extra wide backing. Wyndham fabrics. So a top end. 108 inches. I forgot all about this. And the fabric company can't sell it at proper price because it's got a flaw on it. But the flaw is so minute. So they gave it to me and we can do it for reduced prices. So if you like backing a quilt, but you don't want to do the piecing of two 44 inches together, you've got a massive 108 inches here. And there's what? Oh, how many? There's 18 yards. What's that? 20 odd meters? So that's a future Selly Telly. And it will be silly price, I'm sure, because as they say, they can't sell it at proper price. And I went, well, do you know what? My YouTube viewers and supporters will love that. So I've bought it and I can give that special price to you. Because I tell you, the flaw is minute. You'd look at it and you'd go, what? That's not a flaw. I know. Right. So yes. So don't think that we're just stopping fabric and never mentioning it again, and it's like a bad word. No, we're still sewing, and we're still going to be loving what you make. We still want sewing stuff in the gallery when you get making things. So yes, and be able to treat you every now and again. Right. Let's go back, shall we? That's what you're here for. Right. So Christmas red and off-white. Thank you, Fizz. What you say? How's your spreadsheet going, Fizz? It's beautiful off-white. And if you looked at some of those Zen chic patterns, you'd be going, oh yeah, that's the white you'd use, having it go to that negative space. So there we go. That's FB3, £15. Should we do our magic again? Red. magenta. Ooh. Burgundy. And aubergine. Put them on the table. I'm out of breath now. Anyone want a brew? Right. Let's have a... let's come back to me, shall we? And let's have a look at the chat. Sue, what do you say, Sue? Reminds me of John Lewis Stardust children's bedding. Oh, I can't remember. I don't think I even saw the Christmas one last year. Oh, that'll be on our telly soon, won't it? This year's ad. Yeah, script. I know. Sometimes we don't need that, do we? This is where it's a lot more flexible. We can just enjoy the chat, especially if there's nothing on telly, and you've got your knitting there or your sewing. Let us know what you're doing. What have you got on your needles? I actually haven't. I would show you my needles, but they're downstairs in the conservatory. I have cast on for the first time since a year. It was a year ago. I just got back from holiday, and I was making that white, just a simple tank vest top that turned into like a Blake 7 episode with the frills around the rib. Well, I've cast on another one. I've cast on camisole number 9. The name escapes me. Fizz or Valerie, you might be able to help me out there. It's a very simple vest pattern, top down, in 4-ply. And I'm using one of the 4-plies, one of the new yarns that we're stocking at the shop when we finally get to have our refit, when the builders come in. And it's wonderful. I'm really enjoying knitting again. Got my knitting Knit Joe. What do you call it, Knit Joe? What's that out there? It's a moth. Mojo. Sojo? No, Knit Joe. Yeah. Back. You're not doing a ranunculus. What number is this? Number 5? Margaret, you've started it. Moon bumps. Margaret got one of the kits from us. Or are you doing a different kit? Different colourway? Oh, cool. Are you enjoying it? How are you finding the eye bump bits? Are you fed up with them yet? Valerie, it's number 5. Wonderful. Yeah, camisole number 9. I can't remember the name. That's what it's called. I don't think she's done 9 camisoles. Or she might have done. It is cool. And the designer? Different things. It's wonderful. Have a look. You can click on these links and I don't disappear. It opens up in a new window. So, but if you're on an iPad, don't know how that works. No. Oh, so that's nice. This is like a little advert break, isn't it? You get to see me. We get to chat about the other things. You could go and put on a cup of tea, or a beer, a glass of wine. Sue, that off-white one would make beautiful angel dresses for nativity plays for the little ones. Wonderful idea. Yes. And then Margaret says, yeah, it is wonderfully. Our comments are a bit small. Should we make them bigger? There we go. Go next to Snowman. Yeah. Sue, what are you doing? Now it's really big, isn't it? Oh, I like your logo. Starting Embers by Lisa Much. She was in the top 10. I noticed a couple of hers in the top 10, which will be released after we finish here. Has finally learned to use needles. Sue, you already knew that muscle memory. I think Sue must have learned years ago, and that it never really goes. And so you didn't need too much from me, to be fair, because you were like, whew, picked it up. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? So we are now to yardage. Okay. Right now, Fizz. Let's get rid of FB3. And with the wonders of button pressing, I think I can press this. There we go. I need to move that. Where can we put that? And Let's move that there. Okay, so we're going to go through all 10 of yardage. And Fizz is telling me in my ear how much there is of each one. So if you do want yardage, there is, excuse me, itching, there is some still available because she's done all the clever maths. I've worked out what's been gone and then what's left. And I'm just going to go and get the bolts. I have a huge box down here. There, look at that. I've also put it at the bottom there. So there are 5 meters left of white. So if you want the yardage, you would just put in the chat number 1 times 5. So, Fizz, if you just want to type that in... Oh, excuse me, itching my nose. Fizz, just an example, just put in 1 times 5. Fizz is not buying that, don't worry. She's not having all 5 meters. But if you did want yardage, you can see it's all there. So this is just an example. You can see it's all got their proper thing on there. What comes from Moda? Here you go. By Moda, they are. Look, by V&Co for Moda. And that one had 7 meters on it. And according to how well the bundles would have gone, I would have just cut the yardage off to make the bundles. But we now know that we've got 5 meters left of that. So if you wanted yardage, you can. Looks wonderful, doesn't it? Margaret, because we were talking about that before in the advert break. The first iCord almost killed me. Yes, it's because this iCord, for anyone interested in mood bumps, we had it on the show, the last Woolpatch show, I think, and one before that when I was wearing it and modelling it out in the countryside. It's by Max the Knitter, and it was lovely because it was a small enough to be a shawl, but not big enough to overbear you. Because sometimes some of the shawls can be huge, can't they? But it wasn't small enough to be a scarf. But it had these lovely I-cords. But rather than the I-cord being on the edge, they split up the stocking stitch. But it is just something to get your head round. But it does break up the monotony of stocking stitch, for sure. Sue, I do short rows on my knitting looms, so hopefully won't struggle too much on the needles. Oh no, because yes, your one has those short rows. No, you won't. You would only struggle, Sue, if you decided to not do the way they told you short rows, because you've got German short rows and you've got Japanese short rows, which just slightly tweak what you do on the turn and how you use the stitch. But just stick with your pattern and you'll be fine. So this is white. So there is still yardage left, and Mrs. Speedy's got 1 meter of it. Christmas red would look great as classic quilted dinner. What do you call them? Placemats. The red one actually doesn't have much of a difference in the ombre when you get to the top. It is lighter, but it's not vastly different compared to some of the other ones. Fizz, how many do we have of red? 5 meters. So there are... Oh, yep, Sheila, you've got a meter of red. So there are 4 meters left of red if you want yardage red. And as I say, I would literally just cut you off. Sorry, I'm talking without the mic. I need to save my pennies up to have one of those little lapel mics, don't I? Isn't it lovely to see how many shop supporters are appearing? Thank you so much. If you're seeing little W's after people's names, that's because they're a shop supporter, which I'm truly grateful for. Because some of the you supporters, you can't visit the shop because you would normally visit the shop to support your local shop, wouldn't you? You go and shop and you buy there to keep the shop going. And some of you live miles away, or even another country. So you support the shop by joining the YouTube channel. So grateful for that. So it's lovely seeing so many W's. So look at that red there. It's a great window display. Margaret's got a meter. So how many meters left, Fizz, did you say? 3. 3 meters left. If you're thinking about it. And actually, was it Jill? I can't remember. Bertie and Poppet, or was it someone else? I can't remember. It might be you, Jill. I can't remember. Excuse me if I've got it wrong. When Selly Telly ends, really, the deals are only for you watching now. Because that's our little thing that we've got. You're like our secret club. And it's just there on the night. But if you email, because you didn't catch the show, and you watched it like Monday morning or Monday afternoon, or dare I say even Tuesday or Wednesday, there is nothing stopping you from emailing. And I think Jill did. It was you, wasn't it, Jill? I think you were away. Was it for the wool one? Or am I now making that up? And just emailed and said, oh my word, is there any chance of item 23 still being around? Because it could be. And I could say, do you know what? It is. It's still here. Because I haven't put it in the shop yet, or someone in the shop hasn't bought it. You know what I mean? So, you know, you never know. If you miss out and you watch another day, just email and say, is it still available? It was you, Jill. It was. I thought so. Oh. It's very kind of you. I love doing it, and I love chatting to you all. Yes, well, I thought it was. Yes, it was the. Yes, it was one of those. Yeah, it was, wasn't it, Fizz? Yeah, it was the drops. Was it the drops? It doesn't matter. But the point is, something that I learned very early on. So let's get rid of Christmas red. We've got magenta next. How many meters left of magenta? Is it all 5? I think it is. That's the magenta. 5 meters left. 5. Yes, always taught this. And I know it sounds a bit in your face. If you don't ask, you don't get. It's this idea of if you don't ask, you never know. Because it can just be a, no, sorry, that's sold out. It was like, oh, okay, well, I've tried. Absolutely, you've tried. And I am a big believer in that. Just ask. What can it be? Oh, yes, the yarn. Yes, the, oh, yeah, there was like 15, 16 balls of it, wasn't there? Look at that. So that's the yardage for magenta. Oh, it blends in with our set colours of Selly Telly. Right, I know some of you are patiently waiting for the advent, so I'm going to get a wiggle on because you don't want to. I don't think you'll know if you burgundy. Number 4, for burgundy if you want. Meterage for burgundy. 5 meters left of this. Look, and this is what I mean when I'm not lying to you about this. How difficult it is. Can I get it? Sorry, everybody. There, look, 6.8. You expect, and you're expecting it. They tell you it comes in on 7 meter bolts, and then you're like, when it comes to you, and you find you've got like 4 or however many, like I had 7 at 6.8, or when it comes with more, and you think, hang on, you're now getting more money out of me. So there were some shops, and I don't blame them, some shops that got delivered with 9 on, saying there, where that they were like, well, no, you told me it's 7 meter a bolt, so 7, 8. I'm going to cut. They literally cut those 2 meters off every bolt, and they sent it back to the wholesaler. Well, it's right, because you haven't budgeted for it. And you've got to remember, you order this 6 months in advance, don't you? Well, no, sometimes longer, 8, 9 months. So, yes, you're getting some inside information of what it's like to buy and then sell, how difficult it is. Aubergine, number 5, and there are 5 meters left. It is beautiful. It is absolutely stunning. I think you can see the ombre really, really well with this one. How it fades, virtually disappears. That's the bottom. So if you want aubergine, you just put 5 times 1 or 5 times 2, 5 times 3. Look. Are you all going, oh? You all feeling a bit Christmassy? That moth again. Do you think he's watching? Do you think it is very royal, isn't it, Fizz? Yeah. Oh, you see, now practical stitches. Yeah, because you need to, what's your website? Sorry, you'll have to put it on. And watch her on YouTube. Men's fabrics, is it? Some all detailed stuff for men. But she says, happens to me all the time. Order 10 and send 15 or 8. I know, and it's frustrating because, as I say, I can't afford 15. I've budgeted for 8. I budgeted for 10 6 months in advance, and it just felt like, hang on, this is a really sneaky way of getting more money. So I can now fully understand why some shops did literally, because remember, I'm only buying 7 or 8 bolts, so sometimes I think, oh, I can cope with that. But if you're a big shop and you're buying lots of bolts, that's going to be a huge amount on your bill, isn't it? So yeah, I can understand why they chopped it off and sent it back. It's one of the biggest reasons I struggled with fabric, actually. Rattling through. Peacock. 5 meters left. 5 meters and a quarter. Oh. 5 meters and a fat quarter. This is good bicep work. 5 meters for peacock. That's number 6. Let's rattle through. Number 7, turquoise. How many meters left? 5 and a fat quarter. So 5 meters. If you want turquoise, you would just put 7 in, and how many meters you want. And the teal one, which I really think is green or mint. Here we go. So that's turquoise done. Look at that. Yes. Yeah. That actually is an accurate representation of it. Now I've got it next to the blue. So that's the... Yep. Teal. 5 meters of that, yeah, Fizz? And a quarter. Oh, bless you. And Christmas green coming up. Oh, which is nearly off the bolt already. I say whatever is left and doesn't sell tonight will go into my shop, and there are still a few fabric lovers who I've said to them, I said, look, whatever's not sold, because I haven't given it to them, absolutely, the box has stayed here. I haven't, you get it first, YouTubers. And I said, I will, whatever's left, I will take into the shop and I'll let them know, and then they're going to come in and they'll buy it at the same price. But you get it first, because ultimately I want it to go. There'll be no space for it in the shop because all that fabric's gone, and my table will go of cutting fabric. It's got to go wherever it's got to go, whether it's you or then the customers of my shop. So. Christmas green, number 9, whatever you want with that. 5 meters and a quarter left. 5 meters and a fat quarter. If that one doesn't sell, I think I end up might keeping it and using it for window display or stuff. Writing it off that way, because that will always come in beautifully handy. I think that's it. That's it done, isn't it? Oh no, we've got lime left. We've got lime, number 10. Lime. There. So if you wanted lime, you would put 10 times 1, 10 times 2. Right, I'm going to roll this up so it doesn't get stuck. So let's have a chat while I wind this up. And then we're going to finish with the advents. There are only 2 advents to show, so that will take 10 minutes. So we'll probably be done by 9:30. What does, whilst I wind this, what does Everbee say? That's, yeah. So, you're talking to each other, beg your pardon. That's how big companies lose good customers. Must cause you such a headache. Yeah. Yeah. Seeing more and more fabric shops close down. And actually, I've just seen one in Peterborough, so it's not too far from us, which started out online. And this is what happens a lot. So a lot of shops start online from a bedroom, like what I'm doing, because there are technically no overheads. Though it sometimes amazes me how they get that, because a lot of companies say they don't sell to online companies because if they do sell to online companies, they know they sell the fabric cheaper because they can. And this is where this is where I get on my soapbox. So I've got to be careful here. And this is where it's difficult, because yes, they're selling it cheaper because they can, and they think they can make a lot of money, which they do. But what they don't realise, and I know in a way I'm doing it myself, so I've got to be careful. They're devaluing the product, but they're selling it all the time. I'm doing this because I bought it and I've changed the vision, so I've got to get rid of this, and I don't think it would sell quick enough if I kept it at £16-17 a metre. So I'm doing this just to get my money back of what I've spent. But they're doing it as a business and are doing it all the time. So and that's why some companies don't sell to website people only, bedroom people only, because it's constantly devaluing the product, isn't it? Because technically the recommended retail price is there for a reason. It's because so the shopper can see the same price wherever they are. So you then get a feel for what that price is. That's the point of the recommended retail price. Because you can't really go from one shop seeing it for 10 quid and another shop seeing it for 2 quid and then another shop seeing it for 20 quid, you know? But anyway, this shop, as I was saying, this shop, then did so well because they were selling online, became then a shop. But now they've just said, sadly, they can't. They've got to shut completely, even the website. And of course, we don't know the full backstory. There could be other reasons as well why they're stopping. But it's just sad, isn't it, to see another fabric company stopping selling fabric. You just think, oh, that's a shame. That's one less place now for people to find their patchwork quilting cotton from. There we are. Difficult, isn't it? You know what I mean. Right, shall we see the advents? I'm a big fan of advent calendar panels. Let us know if you are. Type in the chat if you love an advent panel. Some people have them as traditions in their families where they've made a panel years ago and it's always the same panel that comes out. And if they have kids, it's like, that's my panel and that's my brother's, that's his panel, and the same ones come out. And I think they go through phases of falling out of favour of them when they're perhaps in their teens, but then when they become like 18, 19, they become cool again. Like, yes, I want my advent panel, please, Mum. And they still have them like now, like we do, us adults, and the same ones. Some families have it where you make a different one. Mums and dads have made different ones every year for their kids. What advent is it going to be this year? Let us know in the chat if you do anything like that, or if you had your own advent calendar, or if you did make one. Right, what have I done with them? Let's push the button to see which one is first. Is it Scandi Fizz? Oh, she's fallen asleep. Yeah, is it Scandi? Bless you. Like, she said, are you talking to me? He's like, oh, I've bored you. I've bored you. No. What's this? Everbee. Just an idea. If your Christmas decor theme is Winter Wonderland, you could make bunting out of the white fabric. Oh, yes. So there we are. So if the fabric doesn't sell, Sheila, lots of dressmaking shops closer to, yeah, and we do know why. That was one of the hardest things I found with it. It's the customer base is very small. Knitting it is a lot wider from 20s to 200s, but the sewing base is small, and you've got an awful lot on the bolt. That's what I found. So you're buying bolts with 20 meters, but Mrs. Miggins is really only be buying 2 meters or 3 meters, and then you need lots of them to take that bolt, and then you've got a lot of money then stuck in that bolt in the shop. Anyway, so this is the new style, and you're going to love this. So this is the British company Macawa. I think their American name is Andover. And they make fabulous panels. And this is their Scandi range. They've had this range for like the last 3 or 4 years. And they just change some of the designs and how they draw the reindeers and so forth. But it's red and white, dark maroon, and off-white. And it's beautiful. Now, I'm going to just change my camera. It's so difficult to try and move that when you're looking upside down. Now, what's so good about this is it will take you no time at all to make. because of this fold up mechanism, and I'm going to show it to you. Now, normally with a panel, an advent panel, you would cut out your square, wouldn't you? From down below, you'd hem the top, you'd fold over these bits here, and then you'd find it and you would place it down, and then you would sew it down. Whereas this, you just literally fold up. Now, it's slightly over half a metre. It's about 60 centimetres in width. So you would need, for your backing, a metre will keep you safe, and it's by the width. It's by the width of the bolt. So what's that? Yeah, 23 inches across, and then 44 down. And then what you do, I'm going to use two hands, so I'm going to come off camera. You literally just fold up and pleat and sew down. Watch. How easy is that? Now watch for the next one. Now, if you're doing an advent calendar and you've done them before, you are going to be going, oh my word, that's amazing. Because all you have to do now is sew down, and then sew down. So you just got to go sew down, and then that one go down, and then go down, because that's your pocket. I'm going to move my fingers. Look. See? How good is that? It is brilliant. Now, I have seen these fold-up panels done before, but only with the other companies who, dare I say, are not as high sort of quality. So the drawings are a bit, when they're a bit gooky looking. and I'm like, oh, I don't like those. So to see the top brands making this, and I say top brands, it is only Macawa. I'd love Lewis and Irene to do it, but Lewis and Irene still do the classic one. I haven't even seen Moda do it yet, but they're cottoning on. So, no pun intended. They are doing them. So seeing Macawa do this, it's wonderful. And let's see. So you've got them all there. So you can see all your boxes, and they've got different ones on. So you've got some hearts, you've got some pretty reindeers, you've got parcels. So you are literally just sewing, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lines down to make your pockets. Then obviously what you do next with it is up to you. You could quilt around here if you wanted to. Otherwise, you would just then simply bag it to your back, put it, right sides facing, sew all the way around, leave a little hole, and bag it out. That's the simplest way to make an advent calendar. And whilst you're doing that, you could plan on how you're doing your hoops to hang it from the top. I might do a tutorial on this. So I might make one of these up, see how it sells. Because it's so quick, but it's also kind of new. So it would then hang. Let's try and see if I can give you the finished dimension. It's just over 1/2 metre from top to bottom, because you're going to, and all the instructions are there on how to do it. So you can see what it says there. Everbee, no, it's not too late for you to register. You can register later. Just write in the chat now how many you want. I say how many, it's like you're going to buy loads. If you want one, just put one in. And then you can register after. I've actually got your email anyway, Everbee. So that sounds, whether I should have said that. So I can always link it. But as I say, I've not seen many of these. I've YouTubed it already, and no one else has done a tutorial. Oh, Sue's tutorial would be great. I'm not a quilter yet. Well, that's the thing. Technically, you don't really have to quilt it. You could just have your wadding in there, so it's a bit padded when you sew these on. Or you could just do some basic quilting of what I would do is I would just go around there just to make it pop a bit. But I wouldn't do anything fancy, because it's not about that. You want the design to do the talking anyway. But it's nice to have it padded. So I would just put my wadding in and my backing. But yes, I shall do a tutorial, because I've got my sewing machine here. So that's number 12, and let me show you now the last one, number 13. Where is Snowman? Which is the classic style. Oh, my numbers have gone a bit pear-shaped. There we go. Snowman Advent. And this is the classic old school calendar. We have these every year in the shop, and do you know what? I think I'm still going to do them every year, because they are just so nice. So at Christmas time, I have them up in the shop. So I think I'll probably sell these next year. So because we love Christmas, who doesn't, eh? Well, if you don't celebrate it, obviously, but. So this is Snowman Advent, okay? So Snowman Advent has, and I can't move my camera. My camera's so good that it's zoomed in so much. I wonder if I can, camera effects. I did try zooming out, didn't I? That's as far as it goes. Even if I rotate it, it blows it up. Let's try and zoom out a bit more. Oh, no, okay. Did I make you all dizzy? Sorry. Okay. So Snowman has a big picture of Snowman in the middle. And the pockets go all the way around the edge. So let's have a look. So, and they're all random. 13, 22, 23, 21 is the sock. Oh, look at that knitted beanie. Nice bit of Fair Isle. Partridge in a pear tree, is that? Moon, 17. Pingu, 19. 4, 10, Holly 11, 1. Ah, there's 24. Six, 3. So this is a nice colour. So you've got that lovely sort of mint and sky blue against your navy and your classic Christmas red and green. So it's kind of fresh. But then this is the bit that takes the work. So these are your pockets. And this is where, if you've done a normal calendar, this is why you'd be loving the Scandi calendar from number 12, because you actually have to cut these out. So you get your scissors and you're cutting all along these lines. So there's 24 individual pockets. Sometimes they pair them or triple them, but this one is an individual one. So you will cut out your pocket. And I'll do a little explanation. You would cut it out. You would fold over that top. Sew that top bit down. And then you would have to iron the left and the right bit. Iron that white bit over, iron that white bit over, and that white bit over. Then you'd have to find number 3, wherever he is, and sew him down. Where is number 3? Oh, he's somewhere lost in there. I've only got one arm. I can't do it. There it's down there. Is that number 3? There he is. So it's nice to do, but you can't rattle these off quickly. So you have to allow some good time for it. If you go for this idea, a tip is to starch your fabric. Absolutely. If you're not a starcher in this sort of crafting quilting world, then do it. Get some starch. You can get some Dylon starch from basic Tesco or wherever, or you get some posh quilting best press. Another word for starch is what is it? People, help me out here. What's another word for starch? A thickening. Stabilizer? Is it a stabilizer? Can't think of the word, Fizz. Can you think of the word? But it's thickening that fabric, so it's then less fiddly because it ends up being like cardboard, and it makes the job so much more enjoyable. Because when you're folding these little pieces over, it just folds nicer and you get a lovely crisp, and they're not pinging out everywhere. So when you take number 9 over to there and place him down, you can sew. Now what I've done is, before I have placed them all down, and you know me, I'm not a pin person at all. If you've used starch, you can place them down and just go, because this one is a good one, you can place them all down and go and skip over and skip over. So actually this is a better one to make, because you can literally just go all the way down that row and then all the way down that row. So you can do this stiffener. So yes, so there we go. So that's number 13. But as I say, that's more classic, traditional. Could you use a scrap fabric and sew around them? Oh, absolutely. What were you thinking? What, like have it as a panel and have scrap fabric around here? But there we are. There's the design. Mr. Snowman. If you fancy Mr. Snowman, it's classic. I know it's very different when you look at the Scandi one. Not everyone's cup of tea. I think when they come on the bolt, I think there's about 8 of them on the bolt. So there's 8 there, and the Scandi one I thought would be really popular, and especially with doing a YouTube tutorial. So I brought a big bolt. I think I've got about 16 of them there. So there's plenty there. They won't all fly out at once, and I'm going to have them in the shop anyway for my usual fabric people who love making advents, because I over the years I know many that come in each year to make them. Which is great, because as I say, I have this conversation with the reps. And I'm saying, why do you, at first, when they first came in, I said, why are you showing me these? Because people they make one advent for their grandchildren, and it follows them through. But there is a small audience that have a new one each year, and of course, there's always new people coming into the fabric world, isn't there? So I've continued to buy them. So there we go. There. So number 12, number 13, number 12, number 13. Around the pockets and turn them inside out. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Sue, or even use thin iron-on hem tape. Yeah, even better. Just turn it round. Yes, like Bondaweb sort of thing. And then turn it, peel that off, slap it down, iron it down. Absolutely. There we are. Number 12, number 13. 12 is your Scandi. And notice I've got them for actual price. There's no special price here. That is what they are at. Because you go much lower, and they're actually cost price. So then there's never much markup on an advent calendar anyway. So that's the Scandi one, and that's the snowman one. And there we have it. Oh, pushing the buttons. Done. Christmas. How was that, everyone? Are you all Christmased out? Fizz, how are you? You happy with anything that you need to clarify? Absolutely. It says just to finish, a quick recap. We can indeed do that. If you missed anything, there are always people coming in different times during the show. So we have got, there we go, our Ombre Flurries Mettalic. There are 10 of them. So that means we still have some bundles left. Yeah, Fizz? Yeah. So if we get rid of Snowman, get rid of him. Is that right? And get rid of Lime. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. If you missed it, you could have... Oh, where's my camera? There. 10 FB1, 10 fabrics. That's all of them in FB1. 10 of them. It's all of these ones here. As you can see, all those 10 into a... let's go to that one. There we go. So all 10... Oh, my God. Yeah. That's FB1. If you wanted to, and you don't want all 10, you just wanted the blues, the greens, or the reds, you can then have FB2 and FB3. Oh, my little bits of paper. So if you wanted to, you could have FB2 or FB3, whichever one it is. So let's get rid of that. Oh, got buttons. Look at that. It's a mess. Oh dear, that's funny. There. Oh, I still can't see that. That's because I've got this one. I moved this one, didn't I? I can hear you all shouting at me. FB2 and FB3, and then we've got yardage. But I say you might be watching on catch up, so you can always email and say, have you got any magenta yardage 2 meters left? You can do that. So if you are watching on catch up on a couple of days later, just email on the off chance. Hope you've enjoyed it. That's another one done. Christmas fabric done. There is well, other than that special fabric bolt that you saw, there is no other fabric ordered that's coming in. So we've definitely then gone to yarn. But as I say, you never know what might come up over the weeks, especially for bargains, for sure. Thank you very much for your company. It's been great fun chilling out with you on a Sunday evening. Lovely to have your company. And I'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the Wool Patch show. Oh, yes. autumn and winter is on its way, isn't it? Yeah, it will be our September edition. So hopefully you can join us live then. And you can keep up to date, follow us on Instagram and whatnot. Otherwise, to see you in me and Fizz, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Oh, yes, don't forget to do all that stuff of liking, pushing that button at the bottom. It does really well. It helps YouTube think, oh, this is good. Let's recommend this to everyone else. Oh, you're still here. I thought you said you might even be going away. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And what? No, Susan. I'm decorating my Christmas tree tonight. Oh, dear. Wonderful. Oh, Sheila just says 6 times 1. Yes, we'll get that one sorted for you. Too. So but press the like and do all that. It's been lovely having your company. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time if you want to join us for that show. Otherwise, keep an eye out. You never know what other Selly Tellys are coming up, especially that quilting, that extra wide backing fabric is there. Cheers, everyone. See you later. Ta-ta.